Let's talk about Gonzaga now, another team on the West Coast. They are 9-2 on the season. There was a while where we thought they were going to have a chance to run through everything undefeated. They are now heading into the meat of their schedule, which means it's going to be a lot of WCC opponents. BYU is good. San Francisco is good. St. Mary's is good. We might see a 4-bid WCC this year, but it's going to be very different than playing some of the best teams in the country. So, Ashton, I'm going to go to you first on this one. What are you giving Gonzaga for Christmas?
Simply shooting. It's as simple as that. Just making shots at a higher clip. Three-point shooting in particular. They're shooting 34% right now from the three. 69 from the free throw line. So I think consistent shooting from the outside. At the end of the day, that's what that's the name of the game. And then I think they need Andrew Nembhard to really step up and be a vocal point from a scoring aspect. I think he can easily be one of the top guards in the country, but he's doing a good job of facilitating. I think he needs to look for a shot a lot more because he's capable of it, and he makes good decisions more times than not. He's a really good guard and obviously proven veteran guard for them. I think he just needs to step up and just, look to score a bit more.
Steve, where are you at?
I think number one, and they've done a great job with this over the years, but Gonzaga's got some new guys in the program this year or guys playing bigger roles, but being focused on the road, because this is probably as good of a West Coast conference that they've played in, from the outside looking in. I mean, they know better than us, but when you look at BYU, when you look at St. Mary's, when you look at San Francisco, Santa Clara, even Loyola Marymount, their focus has got to be unbelievable on the road because those guys, they've all played Texas, Texas Tech, UCLA, Duke, Bama, and now you're going into conference play where if they want to be a 1 seed or a 2 seed, they can't slip up. You got to stay the course with that. So I think that focus, and Ashton just touched on it, Nembhard has to be big in the biggest moments. In their 2 losses, he's averaged 5 points. So Nembhard, for him to be big when it matters the most, to be able to score, to be able to lead, to be able to direct and really run that basketball team. And the last thing would be to have that bench grow up. Salas and Hickman and even Watson, they're averaging a decent amount of minutes, but they've played some really good teams and they played their fair share of bye games where those minutes can get inflated a little bit. But can conference play help those guys, really get going because they're going to need them later in the season?
Yeah, the Nembhard point, I had 3 things written down. The Nembhard point was absolutely one of them. The 2 best teams that Gonzaga has had, the 2 times that they've made it to a national title game, they had a first-team All-American point guard leading the way, whether it was Nigel Williams-Goss or Jalen Suggs. And I think that when you look at Andrew Nembhard, he's pretty much a carbon copy of what Nigel was when he was in college. So I absolutely 100% agree on Nembhard. Nolan Hickman as well. That was the other one I had written down. I think he's the most dynamic guard that they have. I mean, he was they have 2 McDonald's All-Americans. I think Hickman was like a top 20 recruit. And I think Salas was top 10 coming off their bench right now, which kind of sums up what this Gonzaga team and Gonzaga program is right now. But I think they got to get those guys to the point where they're consistently popping off for, a combined like 18 to 25 points per game off of the bench. I think that brings another layer to them. But the biggest one for me is you got to add like 50, 60, 70 pounds to Chet Holmgren. My biggest concern with this group, if you look at all of the other really good teams in college basketball, there are so many big physical low post presences, whether it's someone like a Zach Edey or someone like a Paolo Banchero and Mark Williams, or someone like a David McCormick. There's so many big low post players that I think you can kind of run into a little bit of an issue with a mismatch there, because I don't think Drew Timme is a great defensive presence. And as much as I love Chet Holmgren as a rim protector, I don't think that you want him trying to guard some of those big physical bodies on the block one-on-one. I just don't think that's a great matchup for him. So that's what I would say is to get Chet to the point where he can guard someone like a Kofi Coburn one-on-one and kind of hold his own to the post, because I don't think you want him. I love him as a weak side defender. I don't know if I love him as someone trying to defend on the perimeter. We got anything else on Gonzaga to add?